Now, I am joined by Alan Rode, who is a former journalist from Italy, but now living in the UK. His first novel, The Eagle and the Cockerel, is inspired by a relatively unknown historical fact that in 1950, the German Chancellor Konrad Adenauer publicly proposed the idea that France and Germany should merge into a single country. Sacre bleu! Who writes this stuff? Oh, I write this stuff. Welcome to the show, Alan.
Thank you for having me here today.
So tell us about the plot of The Eagle and the Cockerel is set in the future when there is indeed, dare I say it, a referendum.
Yes, it's on a social media, a domineering social media from Germany called Rome. And we have two main characters, two opposing characters. One is the former mayor of Paris, Vincent Damon, who has fell in disgrace and is coming back from this political disgrace with this idea of merging France and Germany into a superpower, Charlemagne, of course outside of the EU, otherwise it would be fun. And he's opposed by Miss Cliché, an Italian vlogger who lives in Birmingham. And she used to work for the European Union and she's in love with Europe. And my challenge as a writer was to have two characters embodying two opposing views. So Vincent has the view, let's look at what the European Union is giving to my country. And Miss Cliché has a different view. She believes that we should understand what Europe, if stronger, can give to the entire world. So she believes that no European country has sufficient clout to make the difference for the environment, regulating the net, and so on. And she also understands that the role of Europe is getting less important globally, so we need to be strong and protecting our values, the rule of law, separation of power, separation between secular and religious powers. We have a quite handful, let's say, of tenets in the Anglo-Western society, and I think the narrator is biased, probably.
And what inspired you to write the book? What message are you trying to get across about Europe? That the European Union should continue to be a union of nations, states, and avoid, as it were, a federal Europe? Or that we, the Brits, because obviously you're based here and it's published in English.
And my father is English.
And your father is English. That we, the Brits, should realise how much better we are together.
Yeah, it was challenging for me. I wanted the reader to choose. You have two different views and you choose. I'm sure a lot of people will be more sympathetic towards Vincent than Miss Cliché. Mm-hmm. He calls her the woke warrior. Mm-hmm. So, and many people don't like woke. So it's
I love woke, personally speaking.
Extremely subjective, and the reader must choose. What I don't like, as I told you before, you can just say, if you're called to vote whether your country should leave the EU or less, I believe is not just a matter of an immediate trade-off between what you get, what you receive, what you give, seeing a wider picture. And that's my opinion, but of course it's extremely subjective.
And has this now given you a taste for political novel writing? Are we going to see a burst of artistic activity from Alan Rode taking on the big political issues of the day?
I'm writing a second novel, but it's going to be quite different. The underlying topic will be the environment. It's going to be set in the future, rich with twists, fast-paced, but it's not a sequel of this one, because I like to prove to myself that I can diversify,
Brilliant. Well, Alan Rode, literary sensation and the author of The Eagle and the Cockerel, thank you very much for coming on the show.